Good afternoon. Welcome to Kaftan TV. This is The Polity, the program that goes on air at this hour of the day, every day of the week, Monday to Friday. Excuse me. Today is Wednesday. This is the Wednesday edition of the program. I am Segun Ojelade, welcoming you to The Polity live on Kaftan TV. Now, today, we have a very challenging topic, something that challenges Nigeria as a nation now. Gone are the days when the culture of reading was gaining grounds, and remember in those days that some of us read with candles placed on a reading structure to read for our exams, or even lanterns. Now we have fluorescent bulbs and incandescent bulbs, but people are no longer reading. The reading culture is dwindling, declining seriously. Again, how about the libraries? We used the libraries in those days, even libraries in our secondary schools and primary schools. At that time, where we have books, you can go there, you can borrow. And then public libraries. What is the state of our public libraries today? Everything has been taken over by the digital space, the GSM, the social media. People no longer write letters. We send text messages. So, what is the problem? Now, have we gained much from relying on the social media now, using text messages and making calls rather than writing letters? What have we missed? What is lost? Experts will tell you that yes, the social media has taken over a very large chunk of the communication system among human beings, but that letter writing will still not die. Reading from books remains the very best option. That writing books will still continue, and men will still continue to learn from the pages of books. How that will be is what we shall be discussing on this program today. We call it the reading culture, the culture of reading, and we ask the question whether the public libraries are going extinct. We remember that just yesterday, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, raised about 20.5 billion. Yeah. To support the construction, the ongoing construction of the National Library here in Abuja. It's a gigantic project, very huge at that. Yes, if we have massive structures, but there are no people to use them. These are some of the things that we shall be looking at today. When will the Nigerian youth be redirected towards using the libraries and towards reading books? Yes, on the internet you can get any material that you want. Equally, you can get them in the books too. So today I have two gentlemen in the studio that will be analyzing these issues with me. I have on my far right Adeolu Adeyemo. Is our in-house analyst. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And on my immediate right is Augustine Ochui. He is a consultant mental health from TC Network, and is also the founder of Sanitatem X-Loss Consulting Clinic. Is based here in Abuja. I welcome you to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the effort you made to be on this program today. And we're being joined in faraway Nevada in Los Angeles, United States, by Professor Sulaiman Osho. Professor Osho is a senior lecturer in the Mass Communication Department of that university. He'll be joining us anytime from now. We learned it's about 6 a.m. in Nevada as we speak. So, but we will start the program in the studio, and Professor Osho will join us in the course of the program. Now, Augustine, the culture of reading. Is the reading culture, is it declining? Is it dying? Is it going extinct?
Well, reading culture is on the decrease. It's really declining on daily basis, where you see libraries are lying fallow, books are dusty, and nobody is willing to open their books. If you go to some of these libraries, they are just there for decoration. 90% of students on campuses rarely go to the library to read. They prefer using their phones, fiddling, chatting, checking AI. If you give students assignments, I was opportune to take a few courses in one university here in Abuja, and I gave student assignments, and the first thing that came to mind, I told them, please don't use AI for my assignment. Go and research. Out of about 40 something students, only 2 did research. Others brought in AI. Some copied themselves because one person did the assignment, then mass produce with AI links on all the assignments. If you even ask students today to go and do referencing when they do an assignment, they see it as is a very difficult task that can never be achieved. They see it as you being wicked to them, to tell them to make references. They'll just bring one link, AI link for you, and say they got it from Google. Some will even write it, I got it from Google. They don't know how to even make good use of library, to talk of the reading. Because when you read on digital print, yes, there are available materials, but your level of comprehension differs. Research has shown that that when you read hard print copies, you comprehend better because you are focused, you have your all attention on it, you try to comprehend. But when you read with your digital prints, the fastness you experience, you feel that, oh, the more you are scrolling fast, that's how you comprehend. But it's a lie. It is a very big lie, because you don't assimilate that way, because you are not following the lines. You are just scrolling through. But once you have a physical book, you see that you go detail. You look at line by line to see, okay, what is this that I am missing? Sometimes you even have to retrace your step back to see. Maybe when you are reading, you start following up, you feel like, oh, when you read a statement, you already preempting what is coming next.
Yes.
And then there's this distraction again by when you are reading online, advert to pop up. You have videos, TikTok videos popping up, notifications popping here and there, and you get easily distracted. And then at the end of the day, you'll be tempted to lose focus because you are not following the reading culture. When you are reading, you have to be in a very good state, in a very stable, a homely mindset, where you focus all your attention on whatever you are doing. And when you read, the environment, library, gives you that kind of environment where you get yourself stabilized, a quiet corner for yourself, a serene environment. I visited Cross River State recently, and I was opportune to visit the state library. Well equipped, well renovated. There are places you can even have a book club discussion and all this. I was impressed. I was actually impressed that yes, the state still thought about the library. We are happy to hear that the First Lady is raising money for the National Library, because as at the time I published my book my first book in 2023, I went to drop a copy in the National Library. It was a dead place. Sorry to say. That is not conducive. No AC, no fan. The places, the offices for staff is just very confined. They are squeezing themselves to manage to navigate through, and they are just trying. They are trying. The library staffs are the librarians are trying. It is not easy to be in that kind of environment and tell me you want to read to assimilate.
Productivity.
Exactly. For people who go there to read, some persons just go there because it's going to be quiet. I just want to.
Do they have materials?
Yes, they do have materials, because as an author, I was compelled to go and drop a book there, because for your material to be relevant, you have to drop it in the library. But come to think of it, how many people still read books in this country? Okay,
we come to that. Mr. Adewale, I want you to, because you are one of the older generations of Nigerians, I want you to go back a little. What was it like in your days reading and passing exams? I'm sure you do not have the luxury of a telephone, of a handset.
Okay, so thank you for having me. I was in Abeokuta, when was that? In July. Myself and my partner were with Obasanjo. We were at Obasanjo Library.
Okay.
And I asked Daddy was like, Daddy, how is the library coming up? He said, only long way. Really, those children are very lazy. I said, the whole aim of that place, initially from the beginning, apart from all the fun, was for the library.
Was for the library. That's why it is called
Obasanjo Presidential Library. But the aim is defeated, because he said, okay, let's go. We went, and the whole place is
empty.
Was empty. I said, did I not tell you? This generation are even afraid that this is what is going on now. That internet, Western culture, I don't know, has taken over these children, and they don't want to read. And I like your question. Adeolu, when I started my focus in education, it means I want to make sure that I pass my exam in life. What really helped me in my life was library. Because I remember when I'm at home, distraction, I'll just pack my bag. I'll tell my daddy that, Daddy, let me go to library. Then I'll just enter that Palm Avenue library. I'll go and sit down there, and I will stay there from morning to evening. And I was so happy. You know why? By the time I'm coming out, I'm loaded. And when I saw that this is the way this thing is going now, I told my son, I said, listen, this is how I started. In school, do not sit down in the class when there is no teacher. Go to library, so that you keep yourself.
Okay. Please please hold your thoughts.
Yes.
We will take a short break now. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back with the program, The Polity. Today we're looking at the libraries. We're looking at the reading culture and why Nigerians are no longer reading. They are no longer reading books. They're reading through their phones. Why are students no longer doing research but using AI to get information? And then what are the implications of this on learning, one, and on the development of national development generally? Now, I told us earlier that we shall be joining, somebody will be joining us via Zoom, and I think he's there now. His name is Professor Sulaiman Osho. Sulaiman Osho is a lecturer in the Department of Mass Communication at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas in the US. Prof, if you are there, good morning, because I learned it's around 6 a.m. In Nevada as we speak. Prof.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Prof, Prof and I were journalists way back in Abeokuta in those days, many years ago. I traveled outside the country, and today he's doing very well. One of Nigerians in the diaspora that is making our country very proud. Once again, I welcome you to the program, The Polity, on Kaftan TV here in Abuja, Nigeria.
For inviting me, I really appreciate it.
Yes. Now, Prof, let me ask you, we're talking about the culture of reading in Nigeria today. I must tell you that it wasn't as it used to be when you were around many years ago. What we say now is that it is declining. The handsets, the social media, the digital space has taken over, and many students are no longer reading. Not only students, but adults generally. Many of us are no longer reading books. We are reading the phones. What is the situation where you are outside of this country? Are people still reading books?
Yes, the students are still reading books in America. It's expected the situation we found ourselves in the world, because the world is a global village now. This is the manifestation of the global village theory, and this is the situation that we find ourselves today in the world. As I'm speaking to you from America, and we are together now speaking in the same studio, so that should be expected. And then the multiplicity of the social media has really affected the situation. The reading culture of the people has changed, because they have to read for their exams. They must pass their exam. If you don't pass the exam, you will not be promoted. So that is the situation that we find ourselves today.
Yes.
So, and it's progress to the world, because we can speak with each other from any part of the world, and we'll be seeing ourselves at the same time on the camera. So that's the major progress that we have made in terms of technology, in terms of the social media.
Okay. Prof,
the negative effects.
Yes, I want you to put your phone device on landscape, so that we can have a fuller picture of you. Just put it on the landscape, so it will have a fuller screen. Then communication can be greatly enhanced. Now, while you do that, we shall continue from the studio. Now, the other time, Mr. Diano, you were making a point about you going to the library to study for your exams.
And I transfer it.
How are your children studying today?
That is my testimony.
Okay,
so immediately I told him, move to library, stop staying in the class, to enhance what they have taught you. He entered, and his challenge is always coming taught. I said, the person that is first does not have to wait.
Yes.
It's science class, so I want you to be, and what will help you to become number one is that library. So he entered library. So when he entered library, he became better. Especially in further maths. And then I saw, he now come, he said, Daddy, people are now following me to So he was able to come up, and later all his friends were now following me to library. because they saw the difference between him and them. So what am I trying to say here is this: you can't remove that culture, because I told him, where you see daddy today, this is what helped me. You know, and I was very intentional about it. Do not, of course, before I could even say I want to buy him phone, I told him rules of engagement is you don't carry phone to school, it's at home. And even when you are at home, you focus on the books I spend money to buy for you. Don't come and be opening phone. You understand? Phone is good, but not for you now. And that has really helped him. Now he's in university now. I don't have to start bothering myself. I told you, I said, chemical engineering course is not a joke. You need to read. And you remember where you started from, don't stop. So what we have seen is this: that culture shaped me to be focused. That's number one thing. I became very serious, and as a result, I was losing friends because of the fact that I now, from my reading culture, know better. So I have tasks that I need to conclude. If I cannot conclude it, it is because I have not been reading. And that is why you see in universities now, somebody is out of university and is not the one that passed this, that came out of university. It's people that helped him to come out of the university, because he's sorting, she's sorting. So the culture moves. We have to find a way from home to encourage these children to go back
to reading books. Okay. The other time, Augustine, you told us that you wrote your first book, meaning that you must have written more than one. Now, are people still reading the books? Maybe they are accessing the online version of the book.
Very interesting to note. If you check the statistic of people from my end, people who have gotten copies of my books are still older generation. Most of them. Younger generation will tell you, oh, send me a link. You just say, send me a link, I will buy on Amazon, I will buy on Sellers and all those. That's all they do. And even at that, one person told me, I just want to buy to support you. I am not buying because I want to read. I told the person, if you know you are not going to read, please don't buy. Because I want a review. As a writer, it's those reviews that empowers you to do better.
To do better,
so you are telling me you are just buying to support me. You are not buying to read. What's the support then? The support I need now is read. I sometimes send copies free to people to read and review and give me feedback, because it builds you when you write. And a lot of times you will see that I have copies of this book, and trust me, people no longer read. And it discourages some of the writers I know. They don't even print hard copies. They'll tell you, what do I need hard copies for?
Soft copies.
When people will not even go to the library, people will not even buy to read. Even if they buy, they use it as decorative materials on their shelves. I was telling someone, in my house, when you go, my book is on the headrest of the bed. I have books piled up everywhere.
Both sides.
I have a professor who I look up to very well. If you go to his house, right from his sitting room to his bedroom, you see books all over. And when he's talking to you, you know that this is someone who is well read. This is someone who has seen it all, who loves books. And it encourages some of us, because when you hear him speak, he speaks like an educated person. You can't tell me you've been to the university. You can pass through the university and not being educated.
Okay. Good. Now, Prof, I'm sure you are following us in the studio. Okay. I learned we've lost him. I'm sure he will still join us in the course of the program. Now, okay, we want to make
so now, it's in this reading culture. What pushed me into it is because of money. I said, if I don't read, I will fail in life. I saw my parents. I said, no, I can't be like this. lot of parents, they have money to spend on them.
Absolutely.
In fact, somebody is buying phone for the daughter from primary 5.
Yes.
Well, how do you want that kind of child to turn out? What would that child turn out to be? Nothing. Because from the beginning of that child's life, you have, okay, wait, is it bad to help a child to be digitalized or to understand digital economy, digital information and grabbing it? Is not bad. I have a friend that came up with an app for school children for maths and further maths. We are not saying it's wrong, because there are still some app that children will go to online to learn. We are not we still have a lot of app learning tools online. It is what they are going to do online that is my own issue. Yes, sir. There is, like I said from the beginning, there should be a need for it partnership with the two. I told him, you are doing chemical engineering, you need to begin to research chemical engineering. Okay, when you are defending it, because in my own house is a rule, before you want to go and do anything, you have to first defend it. Why do you want to go for chemical engineering? This is what I want you to do. And he was able to deliver his chemical engineering. He did his defense very well. He said 1, 2, 3, 4. How do you know this? He said, I have to research. I read and I saw that it's something that will help industrialization in Nigeria. He was defending it, and I saw that okay, he's really ready for it. And I said, okay, so whatever I have in mind, let me keep it. So continue.
Okay.
Because he was able to do what? Both book and digital.
Yes.
Marry them together to have better understanding, because what he can write may not write fully the way another person will write. So when you marry the two knowledge together, both the real book and the online book,
okay,
will still be fine.
Okay, I learned the Prof is back on air. Now, Prof, in Nigeria today, when a child is 5 years old, the parents will probably buy him a laptop,
iPhone 12.
That's
the small one as gift. But in those days, it is books that is used as presents.
Yes,
for us in those days.
I see some.
Now, what damage are the parents doing to their kids by introducing them to the phone culture rather too early in life? It's like that around here. Is it like that too where you are?
Good question.
It is the same situation that we find ourselves globally now, because of the global village theory, which has manifested to the world now. The world is a global village now. As you are in Abuja, I'm in Nevada State in America, and I'm speaking with you, and we are on here now. So it is the technology has changed, it has improved tremendously. So every child needs an iPad now. Every child needs a computer. They cannot even go to school without computer. In America, the government has been able to provide computer for every student in the schools. Every child has a computer given to him or her in the school, in the nursery primary school and in the secondary school. So it's a government responsibility to provide everything, and they have provided everything. So it's the situation that we find ourselves in the world, and we just have to go by it and improve the reading culture of the students. The reading culture has dropped tremendously. The reading of the bed. What I find in America is that even up to the old people, they read books. They read books, they read journals. They are used to reading in America. Even up to the old people, they read. So that culture has been part of them before this technology comes. So, and it is still part of them. They read books. When they are going out, they hold a novel with them and they are reading the books. When they get to somewhere where they just sit down, they read books. It has been part of them before this technology comes.
Yes.
They are still using it.
Yes. You mentioned them going out with a book or two to read when convenient. How about the use of libraries? I know that they too have public libraries there. You know, before you left here, we have libraries. Let me remind you, we have a library in Shapon, in Imo, in Abeokuta. Remember that wooden library that you descend from the road as if you want to enter gutter, but you enter into the library.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, that's the public library in Abeokuta, the government library in Abeokuta. And then we have another one at Take. But today, where are the libraries? Where are the public libraries? Even those ones that are existing, somebody just told us now that the books are dusty and the whole place is like an abode for destitutes. Although there are still staff there, students are no longer going there for research. What is the situation where you are?
The libraries, and they are functioning very, very well. I still went to the library beside my house yesterday just to go and scan some documents into my flash drive. And the libraries are functioning, and they are even remodeling the libraries in America. They are remodeling it, they are equipping the libraries, and they are changing their staff. The library around my area that I went to yesterday, I went there day before yesterday. So just to go and scan some documents on my flash drive. They are functioning very, very well. The government needs to make sure that in Nigeria, they need to make sure that they provide the libraries. Every area must have a library. In America, we have libraries everywhere, and they are developing them. They are equipping them with books. They are equipping them with books, with their latest books. And people go in there, we register. I am a registered person with the libraries around my area here. So the government needs to provide libraries and make them functional. You can't. A society cannot exist without a library. It is very, very important. And we do so many other things in the library. The libraries, they have activities. Every library in America, they have activities and programs for the community. They organize sessions for the children, and you go in there to read. And they organize community programs. The libraries in America, they are functional. They are operating very, very well, fantastically. And they are developing them. They have budget. They have budget. They provide money for them. And they have staff.
To learn.
And they are changing the staff regularly. The library in my area here, they just change all the staff. They change all the staff. They just employed new staff in the library. and they remodel everything, all the equipment, everything, they change everything. So you can go there to scan your documents into your flash drive. I normally go there to do that. And also to borrow some books from them. Yeah, and they provide everything for us.
Thank you very much, Prof. I'll come back to you. He just told us that the libraries in America, they are functioning very well. That government takes it very, very seriously. They fund them properly. They have well-equipped books, and they do. The library organizes so many activities, other activities other than for people coming there to come and
sit down and read.
Social activities for the people, community participation and all like that. What is the state of even the library in your community? You know, the one that you said is well equipped, that is very good, and there are people using it. You know, give us an overview. You are an author, and you are somebody into the academia. Give us a feel of what it is. Just told us how it is up there. How is it in our climb around here?
Okay. Currently, as I said, I was in Cross River and I saw a very beautiful library with different books and very serene environment. Just the library was just renovated, and it's really it will interest you to know that some of the young persons that go into that library to for whatever reason, some of them go for fun activities. They don't go just to read. Just a few. That's why I said it was scanty. The other people you see, they go there, they have their clubs, that's where they hold their meetings, and some of them they have book corner where they go share ideas about books. Maybe they have book clubs that they want to share ideas and whatever. That's what it is. But the library itself, organizing those elaborate activities, then I cannot speak for them. But for other people who wants to make the place, who feel that the place is good for them to have their little activities and other events, maybe conferences that doesn't have a very large crowd, they go there to entertain themselves. And academic conference, so to say, it helps them to, that was what actually took me there, because I had a very little group that we had to go there to have an interaction. And I went around and I saw a lot of young people. Some basically came there to do TikTok videos just to show that, I went to the library, the place is very beautiful and whatnot. That was what it was. But going back from my time in secondary school back then, well, the school I actually went to, trust me, the only library we had was in the principal office. There was no
secondary school too.
Yes. There was no elaborate library to say, but some of us were interested in books, because like my dad, if he goes out, comes back, you will be sure to read a book. He was not educated, but
he must not be seen without reading.
Exactly. My father would say, instead of him to waste money to buy you all these frivolous things, he sees buying you akara and all those things. He buys that once in a while, but he say anytime he goes out, he feels that hence he was not educated. You should be. And he bought us so many novels that I fell in love with. That was when we read books like Akpan and the Smugglers, The Passport of Malamilia, and the host of other books that we saw at that early age. Sometimes my father would
was easy go to school.
My father would
the tale of two cities.
my father would go to my teacher. My father would go to my teacher and ask him for the names. He should write the names of all the books that he feels that we will use.
Wow.
My father will go to town, buy these books, and bring as gifts. If you do well in class, be sure of getting a new book added. So that was what interested me.
It is be sure of getting a new phone.
My father motivated me. That's why each time my parents were my motivating factor. I was a lazy child when it comes to farming activity and every other thing. Once you just say, if they say let's go to farm, I will just quietly carry my book, and I know my father weak point. Once he sees me with a book, he will say, let him be. And so that's, I will have to prove to him that
my own.
When he
don't
comes
even
back,
call me when they are going to the farm.
I will have to prove to my father when he comes back that I was not just only covering up to say that, I don't want to go to farm. I will show workings that I actually read something and I would defend what I was reading. So it motivated me at an early age. From my primary school, I went to a remote school where you have to carry your seat on your head to go to the class and come back.
Yes.
So in primary 4-5, I started reading in a remote school. So my father was like, oh, this thing is working. So he encourages it. So I think I will align with your thought when you said it starts from home.
It's from home.
Because we cannot keep this circle going. If you go to university, there are good books, good library, AC, everything functional with books. And they also have digital library with their system working with internet. But how many students will go to these libraries and tell you that they want to read books from those bookshelf and all these things?
Physical books.
And librarians are there to guide them. That's the fun of going to the library. You have someone, you ask questions. Okay, I need this, I need the guidance on how to go about reading and planning your reading culture. Sometimes as a counselor, I send some of my clients who are students who are struggling with academics. I send them to the librarian. There is that synergy between the counselor, the librarian, the sport officer, and the host of others, because it's a holistic approach we have to take. Because if this person is not academically sound, he comes to a counselor. There's a need for a counselor to send this person to a librarian who will put him through this plan and how to go about this learning situation. Reading books will help you to build your cognitive domain. Because a lot of times some people just read for fun. They don't read because they want to tell a story at the end of the day. Some only read when they have exams. That's another bad thing that is happening among us youth.
Yes.
I remember when we were writing our final exam in the university, some of my mates, some of my mates, so to say, some of them will tell you, after this exam, I will not even read signboard. And that is it. Because they feel that some of us were like, after this, we'll do a master's, we'll do a PhD. They say, you too like book. That's the slang, you too like book. But what is life without reading?
Yes, what is life? Yes.
Because if you don't read,
you will not be
just
you will be
you
deformed.
will remain in that circle of mediocrity.
You will be deformed.
Yes. I think that is what we should be telling our youth. You know?
Okay.
Because people, there was a text I read. What is in books? What is in books? What is in books? Knowledge is in books. Wisdom is in books.
Information.
Civilization, information is in books. Everything that you need in life is in the books.
Travel through books.
Yes. So, as a parent, you've told us how you handle your child at home. This message should go across to every parent, especially the young ones now that are in the habit of buying digital items to celebrate successes of their children.
Okay, so I'm going to take it. We have seen one way of resolving the problem. Parents, government. That's why I'm applauding the First Lady for coming out. Now, the government, I like what Prof said. If you ask Prof very well now, he will tell you, apart from the physical book, there is also a digitalized book in that university. Now, government, Ministry of Education, and all the stakeholders need to have an holistic approach to getting the student back into the library.
Absolutely.
See, when in our time you are given assignment. Okay, last year, was it early this year when United Nations was even saying to journalists that journalists should also be careful of AI, the way it can mess up their mind, the mind that will always think and remember things he has read many years ago is not reading again. The mind is not informed. Now, if we all can see that it is important, like we said, the marriage of the two, both physical and digital, is critical. And the person that will enforce it is the Ministry of Education through all the private public schools to begin to direct them, meaning that before you start directing them, make available the digital library too while they do the physical book library. Why is that what is not in the physical book may likely be in the digital book.
Yes.
So what they should do now is for people to go back to library, because that is our main discussion. Reading culture and go to library to learn.
Yes.
Is where we are having issue now. So that directive, once it's given, lecturers, professors, everybody now begin to direct you to library, you will see that there will be a good turnout to go to library to want to learn and understand and have information and do it. Okay, he said something. He said he saw that when he gave them assignment, some people came back with AI.
Yes. Yes.
The truth is this: most of the students is AI result they will come back with.
Yes.
Now, how do we differentiate between the AI and the real textbook?
Okay.
Is the work that lecturers need to come and handle now.
Thank you. Prof, I know you are still there. We are having this is the early advent of AI into our environment around here, and it is gaining ground very, very seriously. You just had students that were told by their lecturers to prepare a project. Many of them copied from AI. So it's around, it's everywhere now. What we are getting is that students are now very lazy, are made lazy. They will not go to the library to do research, but they just punch some buttons and AI will bring it out, and then they just copy and submit to the lecturers. Now, what is the situation with AI where you are in Nevada? We learned that even some companies in America are sacking their staffs and replacing them with AI. In fact, there was a particular story of somebody that trained an AI on a particular task, only for the AI to replace him. So here, it's just coming up. It's just coming up now, and desensitization is just gaining grounds little by little. Should we be afraid of AI, or how should we handle it? Because before it becomes an anathema. For instance, if students no longer read, they are copying AI. How should universities handle it?
Copy the same thing now.
The AI, the artificial intelligence, is an improved technology in the situation that we find ourselves. In fact, I have a book on AI that I published 3 years ago, and it's doing very well in the market. AI is necessary for us. It's an improved technology to help us and improve on our activities. The area in which the students are cheating, they are just cheating themselves. If you are given an assignment, you have to go and read. You still have to read. You cannot rely on AI to go and use AI, improve the technology to go and do an assignment. No, you are cheating yourself. Education is vital. It's fantastic. I'm telling you. And I love being educated, wallahi, honestly. I pray for my father every day for putting me on the path of education. And it is education that put me to America today, wallahi. It's education. When I look back, I pray for my father. Most times I cried, I'm telling you, for insisting that you must be educated. my father invested on my education, and he's the one that sponsored me throughout my education. So I always pray for him for that, for giving me this opportunity. I'm telling you. So it's the students that are cheating through AI, artificial intelligence, they are cheating themselves. Because you won't know this thing unless you read and do your research. Research is very necessary. Reading is necessary. So we just have to improve on it. The artificial intelligence technology is very good for us, and we are using it very, very well. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about publishers, writers, those who write books. When students no longer read books, you know, in those days we read novels, we read James Hadley Chase, yes. We read Mills and Boons. All those story-books are no longer in existence now. What you see these days are the Korean films. That's what they watch now, Korean films. Because of the situation of declining reading, are authors getting discouraged from writing?
Good question.
Authors are getting discouraged, no doubt, because I'm an author. I'm an author of books, and my books are selling well in the universities, even in Nigeria. But the situation that we find ourselves in Nigeria now is people don't buy books again in schools. Before we, as an author, the students were using my books in the various faculties and the universities in Nigeria. But now it is on the decline. It's on the decline, which is not good at all, my brother. It's not good at all. Because how can students go to school without buying books? No, it's not done. I mean, it's on the decline now in Nigeria. They are not buying books again. I'm an author. So I don't know how we can do that, because the students must be made to buy books in schools. It's very important, because when they buy books, they will use the book for an assignment given to them by their lecturers. So in our time, the books were very useful for us, and we were using it. So the lecturers were selling the books, they were writing the books, and they were selling to the students. But when schools come up with policies that students should not buy books in school, how can you ask students not to buy books in school? How can any university make such a policy? That's a bad policy for the students. It's a bad policy. The private universities in Nigeria now, they have policies that you don't sell books to the students.
Yes.
It is as bad as that. I have my books being sold in the universities in Nigeria up till now. And I improve my books into new editions. And when the lecturers were telling me that the new policy of the policy of the university is that they should not sell books to the students, how can you ask students not to buy books in the university? How will they read? How will they research? Because when they buy the books, the book will be useful for them even after leaving the school. it will be useful for them. You must have a library in your house. So the books will be useful for them. Somebody will just come and give them a topic, and they should be able to make their contribution by going to their library.
Okay.
Using the books.
Okay.
It's very important.
Thank you, Prof. I will get back to you.
Yes, sir.
He just told us that authors are discouraged from writing books because students are not reading.
Very true.
He said he's an author himself, that he writes books, but that it is even worse that universities in Nigeria have a law that lecturers must not sell books to students.
Handout, yeah.
How would they read? How would they research? Now, let me ask you, as an author in Nigeria, are authors, are they discouraged as a result of the poor reading culture from writing books? Don't forget, I told you, in our time, we read books, James Hadley Chase, Mace and Bones, and a host of other. We just mentioned some books that we read in the secondary schools in those days, and you wonder, where are the contemporary authors?
Okay, you see, in our today's world that we find ourselves as an author.
Somebody is calling.
Very important.
Let's
hear them outside.
Yes. Good afternoon. Welcome to Kaftan TV. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Please continue.
As an author myself, I can boldly tell you that at sometimes I just don't feel the urge to write. Because why write when people are not ready to read? Why write? I had a conversation with a few of my colleagues who are also writers. They will tell you, I just write for the fun of writing. Sometimes they write to just express how they feel about themselves. Especially those of us who write poetry most of the time.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Kaftan TV.
Good afternoon, Kaftan.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much for this topic of culture of reading.
Okay. Your name, sir, and where you're calling from?
I'm Joseph from Enugu.
Okay.
Calling from Enugu. I've been calling.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
The truth is that the poor culture of
Reading
in our country should not stop authors from writing. Because when you write, you are putting your own thought to humanity and for people to
posterity.
Maybe even when they are not there.
Yes.
Their own signature, what you have contributed. So I wouldn't say that because people are not reading, people should not write. Authors should write. Because maybe because of the problems, economic problems, hunger, poverty we are facing in our country, might even make people not to really embrace reading culture. Because the hungry man cannot read.
Not only
I myself, I'm a teacher in university, so if you are very hungry, when I was at UNN in the 80s, we had enough food, we had enough rest, we were not bothering about where the next food will
come from.
So what my suggestion is that a writer should write, so that maybe with time, this emphasis on money, this emphasis on being a star will change, and people will start to embrace the culture of reading once more.
No, please don't go. Please, sir. I'm happy you said you were a lecturer. You are a lecturer in the UNN.
I'm still a lecturer.
Oh, you are still a lecturer. Please, can you give us a feel of your experiences with students of today as regards reading culture, and as regards using the library for research rather than use of their phones?
The truth is that people don't read. Even students don't read. The culture is very low. People don't listen. They just come to university to pass exams. They don't even have broader knowledge that you utilize maybe for skills. The prime interest is to pass exams. That's what people do now. So the culture of reading and embracing wider knowledge is no longer there in the university.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
So let me enter now. I like what the man from Enugu said. If at this level, as a lecturer, he is not encouraged to want to write because of hunger. Because the truth is this: when we are not writing again, we are in trouble.
Of course.
A lot of people don't understand that. When we are not writing again, somebody is not passing out information.
Generational wealth.
So thank you, generational wealth, that them that are coming now will work with for the future of this country. He said something very, very beautiful. He said, it is not right we should stop writing, because when you stop writing, you are killing the future.
Yes.
I used to have a friend, or I have a friend, the father is late now, he's a physicist, you understand, in Nigeria, in Abeokuta. And this man, the son told him, Daddy, hey man, you are not writing again. He said, Kule uti remi. Okay, Daddy, all these things you know, all these things you know, can you help us? Can you be telling me so I can document it so that we can use? Do you know that this man tried? He did it. He wrote his last book, and 2 years after he died, what he wrote, what he gave to these children, was what they are using in America now to produce one of the best drug for wound, for diabetic wound. What if that guy had died? See, this diabetic wound, I sent it to my sister, rotten leg, the thing clear.
I think I know that drug.
It was like magic. And this man with his gray hair is Obasanjo's best friend. He wrote, and thank God. So when people like this man that called now,
I think I know that.
they should write. Writers should continue to write in any industries that you belong to. Keep writing. See, write and let's have it. Whether we buy it or not, you will be shocked that as we complain about, as we are complaining now, there are still men and women, boys and girls, guys that are still interested in reading, that want to help their world.
Okay.
It might interest you to know that I was writing recently, and a friend of mine said, you are wasting your time writing. And I said, why do you say so? He said, I can just put this topic you just brought up now on AI and it will generate a novel for me.
Nonsense.
It's abusing the intellectual ability of writers. That's another part. And nobody is seeing
very frustrating.
Nobody is looking at that part at all. And then another part is the cost of printing these books.
Economic issues.
The economic hardship
has caused a lot of problems. It's
really very, very hard on publishers, authors. Because now I have about 200. I have written about. I'm a poet. I write poetry most of the time because that's why I can easily express myself to even everybody. How to manage your emotions, how to go about. Even if it's critic, I give it to my poetry writing. And how do I put? I have over 2,000 poems I have written, unpublished. Aside from the ones I have published. How do I bring this out, put them out together? I asked one of the publishing houses recently, and they gave me a cost that even if I publish today, how do I intend to recover? So it's something that we have to. The easiest way is people will say, "Oh, publish on the Amazon and all this thing."
Online
publishing. We still go back to leaving the library fallows.
Excuse me.
The libraries will still be left fallow because nobody will still go there. You cannot carry your phone and go and sit in an empty library to read.
No.
If you don't have physical book, then the library is just a building. What makes up a library is the books.
Yes.
Sincerely.
So you cannot just go and say, "Oh, I want to visit the library" with your phone. You have to have something there to read. Unless we want to go back to reading those old books. Yes, knowledge increases every day. And another thing with infusing both the digital and the physical libraries, it gives you easy access when you read that's why we have first edition, second edition, third edition. It's because of the knowledge that comes over time that you're trying
prompt you to want to do more,
add more to what it is. But now, with the cost of production of these books, printing, where they will tell you one material, they give you quality. And if you want to publish as an author, no author wants to publish on an inferior material. I can tell you, I would prefer not to publish than to go and publish on normal paper that I don't like reading books that have inferior papers.
Yes.
I believe
don't go to that side. If you go to that side, you will discourage them.
So now that's personally, I don't like reading books that have inferior papers. So I prefer going with books that has quality and the line spacing and all those things.
I want to quickly ask you something. You say you're also a poet.
Yeah.
I even think that it is even worse for poets to get read than writing.
How do you want to make money?
Yes, because for people
that are not even inclined
people that are not able to read normal prose,
they are not the ones that will not see that with poetry.
You are now hiding,
this morning I saw when we were discussing this morning, when you told me, okay, we are doing library and all those things, I saw that Library of Congress.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Kaftan TV. You are too close to your TV set.
Okay, let me reduce the volume.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Kaftan TV.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, just tell me that I told this my Oga that is talking of he need an expensive book to read.
Yes.
This situation of this country.
Let us read the ink and go.
Of the book, content of what you write that is matter.
That matters, I beg you. Yes.
So, I beg, for we in this part of the country, like the other man that used to write economy, Oye Lawal,
yes.
Now we are using it in our various schools now.
We're ready.
Yes.
So, just apart, this issue of devaluation of our money contributed to almost every downfall of everything in our society. We all know about it.
Okay.
So, those who call themselves economists, they say they know better. But in the actual sense, it's
I won't read this kind of thing.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, they are not talking about this kind of book.
Whatever that comes from London.
We don't. No.
Yes.
That's the first place. So that is in the first place. That they brainwash us that everything that comes from outside is the best. That is what, if not, if we are able to look inward and produce our things by ourselves, honestly speaking, we can even gradually develop better.
Yes.
But I don't know, now, situation now has made us to start embracing what we have. Honestly speaking, things are changing. Like the local rights now. Before, nobody think about eating local rights. But I'm telling you now, if you cannot see the outside one, I think you will eat the local one.
Of course.
So, in terms of the education,
but it's expensive.
Yeah, in terms of the education itself,
yes,
we have to look forward. There are so many things that we need to carry our children along with. Not everything on a European pattern, European side. I don't know. When are we? No matter how you wash your clothes or wash your skin, you cannot be white man. No, mind you, we are still black, and those people will never count you to be a white man like themselves. So I think the earlier the better. We have to accept ourselves, accept our destiny, just like the Asian people, the Indians, the Chinese, and all that. They use their local method of teaching and everything.
Yes.
They develop themselves. Look at what they have today. Look at Malaysia that we got independent at the same time. Look at how they've gone far. So why can't our educationists look inward and promote inward? Then the journalists as well help to propagate the internally generated technicalities so that we will look. I'm telling you what I'm saying is on real terms. We neglect ourselves. That is why somebody from outside will come and just play with us like a toy.
Okay.
What I observe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Please, talk to the business class, those people who are looking for where to invest their money. let us be investing this money through someone like you who want to improve on our educational system.
Thank
so that you don't have money. Those people who have money, they don't even know what to do with the money. They carry our money to Dubai, London, and everywhere. They don't know where to or how to invest the money. You have the know-how, but the money you don't get. So people like them can easily give you a lending hand so that you can develop. And
Thank you.
Be promoted by the
Thank you.
The front of Nigeria very well.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Have a great day.
In conclusion,
Yes.
We are grateful to Captain TV program. Honestly, you people are making us to feel a real Nigerian.
Thank you.
See, distance between Maiduguri to Lagos is very wide.
Yes.
But through Captain TV now you can connect us to air our view to a Lagosian. Someone called me now, he heard me talking. I say, yes, I'm happy. Captain TV has connected air my view to that level.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm grateful for that.
Thank you very much, sir.
All of us are grateful for you
Yes.
all.
Yes. Have a great day.
Please,
Yes.
well,
Okay, so I was talking about the Library of Congress.
Yes.
$831 million this year alone as expenditure on books. London Library on $450 million on books. It is only in Nigeria.
National Library.
Dubai Library. Dubai Library, King bin Rashid, $120 million on books. I appreciate what the first lady is about to do.
That's a private initiative.
That is
It's not even government initiative.
Budget for these things.
Yes, they said she raised $20 billion dollars. 20 billion naira, 20 billion naira. Fine. The government need to start looking in what they, like he said, to invest more and let Ministry of Education work together with them to see how they can begin to make students go back to library so that the investment can make sense. Then we said let them now find a way to marry both of them together, both the book and the digital library. Then we have a good way to go.
Thank you very much. You've been told as a representative
Don't give up.
of the authors
Yes.
this country not to give up,
We will not give up.
because you are pouring the present down in books for the future. Yes, very, very important. I think let's go to our prof in the US. Okay. I will learn is no longer there. Well, if he's around. Okay. Now let's look at as we go now. Let's look at what we should be doing now to bring ourselves. But I don't want to say youths alone, because it's every one of us that has reduced the time we pay to reading the books.
Where are your newspapers
Check
now?
the newspapers.
I wanted to say
Where are your newspapers?
Yes, check the newspapers.
Unlike before, that every morning we all go and buy newspaper, but we don't buy.
Please check the newspapers. Even the number of pages of the newspapers are seriously dwindled. You know, it is because people are not buying. People are not buying because people are not reading. How do we get every one of us back to the pages?
Okay. If you see, reading is a habit formed over time, and it's something that everybody can learn. Nobody can say he was born with reading. We learnt it. It's a process. Like when Maogaye was talking, he said he taught his child. He gave him the expo from what he was doing, and he helped him, and he's doing it. And I said, my father, when he was always going out, he brings books for me to read and all those things. Until we start from the home. Parents, motivate your children to go back to reading. Once you encourage the child with reading, trust me, he or she will look for where a library is to read. When they go to school, lecturers, teachers, both primary, nursery, across board. First thing you should show them is not the digital board. Show them the hard copy of the book. Oh, recommend books. These days, lecturers no longer recommend books for students to read. Because they feel that, oh, even if I recommend, some of them will say I'm selling my books and all those things. Quite well, some lecturers back in those days, I don't know for now, some of them would sell handouts instead of textbooks.
Yes.
That was why there was this law of banning books in the university, as at what I know, as at then. They banned these books because some of them, when they say, student, I'm recommending this book, yes, it's their book, it's their intellectual property. They have to put it out there for students to acquire knowledge. Why do you have to go the extra mile of collecting the registration number of people that purchase these books?
To give them, to score them.
Give them score. That is
That was where we abuse it.
Putting a ban to this
Sale
of books came in. It's not like the government don't, or the university system don't want students to read books. No, it is because of the abuse associated with selling of these books. I saw a professor's book and I read the synopsis of the book and I loved the book. I went to him, I said, sir, I listened to your presentation and I saw this book. Can I have a copy of it? I want to buy. And he directed me to the bookshop. He said, go to the bookshop, you see the books there. And I went there, I got the book because I love the information I got from it. And if until all of us start retracing our step back in the university, lecturers, let them refer these books. That's why it is important. I made emphasis when I said I dropped a copy of my book in the National Library. It is important for every author. Once you finish writing, you publish, you have a hard copy, deposit 2 copies at the National Library where you are empowering the next generation.
Thank you. Your final word on the program.
My final word. I have this family friend. They are a group of children. He's a journalist too. He's late now. One daughter. That is he's only the one daughter. When other children of the siblings will be playing, he did something that also was a motivation for me. He's always locking this girl inside the house. He packed newspaper into that girl's room. This girl, read. When I come back from work, you will tell me everything you have read. This guy, this girl, the father is late now, died some years ago. That girl came out last year as one of the best students from Oxford because of that. What do I call it? Gift that seems like a denier of playing that the father gave her.
Yes, thank you.
And that is what I want to say. Fathers, parents, teachers, professors, lecturers should begin to direct students to the importance of reading, and they will see the difference in their life.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, the summary of the whole thing is that the culture of reading is dwindling and very fast too, and needs to be arrested. To arrest depends on every one of us, the students, number one, the parents, and the lecturers. There is need for parents to encourage their children to read, to cultivate the habit of reading. Authors must continue to write, while universities must encourage lecturers to still find a way to sell their books and recommended texts to their students. And to government, encourage the promotion of various library that is active, library that is both has physical books and the digital books. Well, this is where we call it a date on the program, The Polity, on Kaftan TV. I must thank my guest, Augustine Uchuli. We thank you very much for all that you've said on the program. Thank you for finding time to come.
Thank you very much for having me.
And then my colleague Adeolu Adeyemo, thank you very much for those little stories that you told on the program today. We really appreciate you too. Well, from me, I am Segun Ojela. They say join me at 8 p.m. for Matters Horizon.